Hey guys, welcome to the Apila podcast. My name is Adewale Adejumo. Today I will be having a conversation about eliminating toxic situations and relationships in your life with a guest speaker. And my guest today is a Zimbabwean-born native based in Switzerland. She's a self-mastery mentor, mindset trainer, international best-selling author, and award-winning speaker. Guys, since 1997, she and her team have developed a world-class personal growth academy, which has evolved into what is today known as the MAHIMA mindset. And she has spent the stage with the likes of Sir Richard Branson, Lisa Nichols, and has been featured on leading meditation apps like Omvana, Insight, and Mindvalley. And she has done over 10,000 hours of meditation practice, and to date has helped transform the lives of over 19,000 people with her highly acclaimed creations, the Inner Peace Formula and the Own Your Superstar trainings. I would like to welcome Mahima to the Apila podcast.
What a joy to be here. Thank you so much, Wale, for having me here. Wow. And having this opportunity to share what I love sharing the most with people, which is to be empowered from inside so that we can create beauty in the external world. So, what a joy to be here. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. I feel honored to be having this conversation with you. And, just looking at you right now, you must be such a chilled person for having meditated, for 10,000 hours. Do you ever get nervous or anxious?
Absolutely. I tell people, there was the story when someone asked the Dalai Lama, does he ever get angry? And his answer was, does a dog bark? So we're all human, and, meditation is really the art of accepting what is happening in the present moment. I can experience the full range of human emotions, from sadness to heart pain to joy and all the different things, anger. And so it's not about not being human anymore. It's about being comfortable with your humanity and figuring out how to be more resilient and more powerful in the world. So, no, I'm fully human, and I have all the emotions and have to deal with them just like everybody else. Except I would say that I know that I'm not my emotions and I'm not my story. So I have some distance from them. But I feel them very strongly if something happens. If I lose something or someone, I won't just be like a statue, like, oh.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
That is wonderful. Tell me something. You've meditated so much, and people always associate meditation, as you said, one with being present and accepting the present,
Yes.
and
Yes.
also with inner peace. Would you say that
Yes.
you're someone who has inner peace?
Absolutely. Inner peace is one breath away. It's one decision away. Inner peace is my birthright. Inner peace is your birthright, right? This is not what they teach us at school. They teach us about anxiety, about fear, about different states, more negative states. And if someone would ask me, what is the greatest thing that I got from my initial awakening, was that I learned that I could focus my energy away from negativity. Like, my focus on negativity used to be like this, and my focus on positivity used to be like this. And what meditation has given me, it has allowed me to focus on the positive in my life, and negativity is like that. So I teach my students the 80-20. So if you can be 80% of the time feeling grateful, feeling grounded, feeling joyful, feeling loving, feeling all the great feelings, that, and 20% of the time you feel whatever it is, sad, angry, confused, that's okay. There's no 100%, right?
That's true.
So peace
That's very
is your
true.
birthright. Peace is who you are when you allow yourself to be yourself, when you allow yourself to let go of the story. And, we don't have a lot of time on this podcast, but I just want to give you an image of how I see the self. The self is there's different layers in self, in the word the self, right? Myself. So there's the ego mind, which is a small version of you, and then there is the soul spirit, which is the bigger version of you. And peace is understanding that your ego mind is like a trained monkey. It's a monkey. It jumps here and there, it jumps here all over the place. And the soul is like the mother who's like, it's okay, love, it's okay, we'll be okay, right? So that's what meditation gives you. It gives you control over your monkey. So instead of the monkey just making noise and taking you to all dark places and taking you to all crazy places, you start to train the monkey. And you're like, it's okay, monkey, here's a banana, be quiet. Yeah. Right now, I want to spend this time talking to this beautiful man, Adelewa.
Adewale.
Adewale. Okay. I want to spend, I try to go for your full name, which you already told me before. Was it going to be a challenge? Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to stick to Wale, what you told me to do, actually. So, you want to talk to Wale now and be connected and be present. And I don't want to be thinking about what I'm going to be doing afterwards or what happened yesterday or what might happen in 5 minutes, right? So it's really about presence. It's really about staying in your heart and staying present with what's actually happening in front of you right now. Yeah.
I love that. You mentioned your awakening, and you mentioned that you used to focus more 80% on what is not going right and 20% on what is going well. And now you've sort of like switched that around.
Yes.
Because you still got to focus on what is not going well so you can fix them. But live in a state of gratitude with what's going right.
Exactly.
Tell me a little bit about that journey of what was happening in your life before you had your awakening. And I assume that it was only once you had your awakening did you then start your journey into creating the Mahima mindset.
Absolutely. So what was happening before that? I would say I was a normal girl brought up in Zimbabwe, having psychological trauma from abuse in my childhood. Probably a lot of African can relate to me because our way of being what's the word I'm looking for, our parents disciplining us was beating the crap out of us. Okay. So you may have had that experience. Okay. And these beatings were pretty intense. Like I remember my grandmother taking the collar of a dog, a leather collar that had studs on it, and she beat me with that. And I remember having my leg was bleeding because of the beating. We were always scared because there was either someone pulling our ear or, so this is a very, intense way to be brought up. And when you become an adult is when you realize the damage of those childhood things, right? So we all have things that happen to us in our childhood that have caused trauma inside of us. And we're not aware of it because it's normal. Everybody has the same story and everyone has the same trauma, right? Now you're an adult. I'm an adult. I get married to this amazing Swiss guy. And I find that there's this violence that has been around me in my childhood is now around me as an adult, right? So I'm trying to have this relationship, but I'm becoming violent. And I'm becoming aggressive and I'm striking out and I don't know what to do because I've been taught this is how you express your anger. So I feel terrible about myself. And of course my marriage comes apart because, that's just not a space for something
For love,
beautiful and powerful
and
to come out of.
connections. Yeah.
Exactly. But I haven't been taught about love. I haven't been taught about connection. I have no clue that that happiness is a choice. I'm a complete victim of my circumstances. Yeah, I believe I just feel like a victim. I feel like my mom let me down. My dad abandoned me when I was 3 years old. He disappeared. I have no clue where he is. My mom loved my sister more and gave her more attention. My granny didn't like me, and people in the family didn't like me. They always, judged and criticized me. So I was a hot mess, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. And the truth is, Wale, I had no idea of how messed up I was until I got divorced. And, just to explain a little bit further, with this man from Switzerland, we lived in a beautiful house with a swimming pool, jacuzzi. I could do whatever I wanted. I could, it was the life that most people would be like, oh my God. And everyone in my family, like, she's living the life. She's living the life. And look at her. She's screwing it up. Because she's so screwed up. She's screwing it up, because no one takes any responsibility for being part of me being a mess, right? It's my fault that I'm screwed up. So and so eventually we separated, and life took me to India. Yeah. And literally, I was not looking for anything. I was not looking for meditation. I was not looking for transformation. I didn't even know what I didn't know. Yeah.
That's so
And the
true.
only reason, yeah. And the only reason I went to India is because somebody told me, hey, why don't you go to India? It's like an amazing place. You can live there for very cheap. And there's all of these people from all over the world, blah, blah, blah. So they painted this picture that sounded appealing. And so I said, I have nothing to lose. I'm a hot mess anyway. Let me go over there and see what I can, see what I can do while I'm there. So I went to India. And in my first ever meditation, something powerful happened. It's like the teacher was talking to me directly. And I felt that everything he was saying made sense and spoke to my heart. He was talking about the power of the now. He was talking about love and connection and joy and peace and all of these things that, quite frankly, no one had ever spoken to me about. He was speaking from his heart directly into my heart. And I started to close my eyes. And as I closed my eyes, my consciousness started shifting away from feeling sorry for myself to feeling peaceful, feeling like my head was spinning full of thoughts to feeling no mind, feeling like I was closed and my heart was closed to feeling open and relaxed. And this all happened in a span frame of about 2 to 3 hours that I was in this first meditation, with, by the way, with thousands of people, because it was a big hall full of people. And that was it. That was my awakening moment. And I sat in that hall for about like so long that by the time I opened my eyes, the hall was empty. That's how strong the experience was for me, energetically, spiritually. I cracked open. And I just fell in love with meditation. I felt like meditation for me was like a dolphin that had been stranded on the beach, and then they pushed him slowly back into the ocean. And that was me in meditation. I could spend hours blissing out, going deep into conscious states and investigating. I spent 2 hours meditating in the morning, 2 hours meditating in the evening, plus all the meditation in the ashram. So meditation was my lifeboat. Meditation was my salvation. Meditation was my awakening. It was what gave me back me. And I didn't know what I was going to do with all of that at the time, but I just knew I needed to follow this path and
You
just
know,
keep saying yes to it.
something. A lot of people might listen and think that they would just get onto an app or watch a guided meditation video, and they would also get their awakening. But from what I've seen from a lot of people that usually have their awakening, they must have been going through immense suffering and the searching for answers. Did you feel
Yeah.
like for you to actually have gone into a meditation, I'll call it a retreat, because there's a lot of people there. Did you feel like you were searching for, you felt like were you so searching, were you searching for something, searching for answers? Did you want to hand your pain, your suffering? What caused you to go to that meditation session?
I'll be quite frankly and honest with you. I was not searching for anything. I was as disconnected from any of this type of messaging as anyone can be. We're talking more than 27 years ago. Okay, so this is a long time ago. There wasn't internet, there wasn't, face, there wasn't like people are getting, we're in a different time with this message, right? It
Yeah.
comes to you in advertising, it comes to you all over the place. We're in a different world. Back then, there was nothing.
Mm.
Hello, okay? There was, you know what I mean? There was no Facebook. There was nothing. Like, so I know I look like fresh and young, but I just turned 50, this year. So back then, no, I was not exposed to anything. I had not read any books. The only reason this happened is because I met a guy in Miami that was into this stuff. Okay. And then when when I got divorced, I was planning to go back to Miami. And then, I met him in Milan and I broke down in Milan. I started crying and laughing and crying. And he said, "You are a mess. There's no way you should go to Miami in the state. Why don't you go to India? Go to this ashram." And he literally just gave me an address and I just said, okay. So I feel, if you believe in serendipity, if you believe in destiny, if you believe in, things happen in life that you could have never even imagined in a million years. That was me finding myself in an ashram in India. It was so far from anything what I knew, and this is the thing. It's not, life gives you opportunities. It's what you do with those opportunities. Now, I could
True.
have just had that meditation, thought, oh, this is lovely, and walked away from that, right? But that's when what your question comes into play. I believe we're living in a friendly universe that wants nothing more than to support us. I believe we're living in a friendly universe that is designed to support us, right? So when we, on a core level, really need help, help will come. But most of us can't take the help because of the fact that we're still sleeping. So we don't even see the help. We stay in victim mindset, right? So me, in that particular moment, I felt like I wasn't searching anything. I was very critical. When I sat down on that marble floor and saw these, like, what I call like hippie people with their, long robes, singing and dancing and, celebrating and meditating, I thought these people all look a little bit nuts. I
Yeah.
thought they're like, is this a funny sect? I was very judgmental. I didn't go in there like, oh, this is a lovely place. I was like, where am I and who are these people and what are they doing? And all, yeah, so that was my state. Very critical, very judgmental, very know-it-all, not even aware that, that this could be a game changer for my life, right? And it was, and then it just happened. As I said, the teacher started, and the teacher was already passed away. They were only watching a video of this guy. So that's what I saw. I saw the screen come down, and this video was playing, and this guy was mesmerizing. He spoke from such a deep connected place of love, of certainty in what he was saying, that it just came straight through to me, and I literally just like went bang, and I was awakened. It's a bizarre story, but it's the truth. Okay.
Yeah.
And from that moment I did something with them. Like I went back to my hotel room because that was the first night that I was in this ashram. And I didn't know what had happened to me. I was quite puzzled by the whole thing. And I went to bed. And when I woke up in the morning, the first thing I did, I didn't know how to meditate because I've never meditated before. I didn't even know the concept. I sat up in my bed and I closed my eyes because I wanted to check if that feeling I'd felt when I was in the meeting, if it was still there.
Mm.
Feeling of completeness, of wholeness, of peace, of safety. And it was there. And that's what I teach people. Your true nature is extraordinary. When you go beyond the mind and the stories of the mind and the limitations of the mind and the littleness of the mind, there is something magnificent, there's something divine, there's something magical that is you. Yes? we just need to get out of our own way. And I agree with you, so true on what you just said. People expect to find this in let's use a meditation app. And to be honest, you can have results from
That's
that.
true. Yeah.
You can. My meditation, if I, and I'm going to give everyone access to a meditation actually, if they would like to have it. I would love to offer my 21-day meditation challenge to everyone off of this call for free, right? So it will help you. But what will help you even more is have a tribe, have a community, find people who are doing extraordinary things in the world and align yourself with them. Be a part of their story. Be a part of their daily life. Be a part of what they're getting up to. If you're here and somebody's here, let them pull you up, right? And maybe if you're a really good student, you might even go further than them. So, the sky's the limit when it comes to growth, but you need to get support.